All right, you guys, this is Pink Life Live. It is September.
No, October or August.
It's August. Why do I think it's September? I'm like, oh, we're so close to Hawaii. We leave in 19 days. Can you tell we're just really excited? So, but we have some special guests tonight. We have our friends, the Kinnicks, and Jeremy and Germaine are going to be here. They're joining us. And where exactly are you guys? You're in Montana.
Yes, we're in Montana.
Hey, high five. I've been following along in their stories, just kind of seeing where they're at. They're on a road trip / vacation / building a house, experiencing time freedom, doing all the things. But you guys, in the meantime, they are landing on the leaderboard for Plexus Worldwide at the same exact time. So it is so much fun. So I wanted to give you guys a high five first of all.
Thank you.
I want to just kind of give our team, if you haven't met Jeremy and Germaine yet, we'll have them drop their handles for Instagram after we're all done. So you guys can kind of follow along, see what they're up to. It's always fun to see how others that are in our like sidelines, because actually Jeremy and Germaine are not on our team. Technically, they are adopted. They are
for adopting
us, right? And so we actually met, what was it, almost a year and a half for sure, maybe 2 years.
Leaders 2 years ago.
In Charlotte, right?
That's right, Charlotte, North Carolina, when we did our own leaders retreat because COVID came along, canceled everything. And so we just instantly fell in love with them, and they're working the business as a couple, which is like our jam. And so ever since, we have just encouraged, loved, supported, cheered them on from the sidelines, and have watched them flourish. And they are taking off, you guys. And so we asked them to come on tonight just to kind of share a little bit about their backstory. We're going to do like a Q&A too, if you guys are game for that, because I want to have some specific questions for you. But first, like, take it off. Where are you guys at? What are you doing? Tell us all the things.
Well, yeah, so like Jenna said, we're up in Montana. This is like our yearly vacation with our family and stuff. So we're up here enjoying our time and also working, right? And so, but it doesn't feel like work because it's not like the bad work, right? It's the fun work. So, but we live in Southern California. And so, yeah, like Jenna said, our life is a little bit different. I was a gym trainer for about 10 years or 12 years and or managed my brother's gym, and Germaine stayed home, and then we kind of flip-flopped. Now she's a firefighter. And so she's out fighting fires, and I stay at home and do our homeschooling. So it's a little bit different for us. I think most people's, the husband's out working and the wife is staying home, right? Like that's typical. But I was like, that staying at home thing looks easy. I want to do that, right? So it's not. And but I think what was it, a year into me staying home, I kind of wanted to, and we were actually up in Montana. I was telling Germaine, I'm like, man, you're working so much with that, the firefighter schedule. You're just gone, and I hate it. Like I hate that she's gone. And so, she's missing out on sports, missing out on everything with our two boys. And so I was like, I got to find something that I can do at home and not sacrifice any time for my kids. And so coming home from Montana, we were open to just whatever, like looking into stuff. I was doing online training, but it was too time consuming. And then her sister actually was telling us about Plexus. She goes, yeah, I've been doing this Plexus stuff. The gut health is amazing. And I had heard about Plexus when I was managing the gym, maybe about 6-7 years ago. And I just blew it off. Like, I don't want some fad pink drink. I'm a dude. I lift weights, like, right, Kenny? Like, I don't want no pink drink, right? And so I blew it off like several times. And then once her sister said gut health, I was like, whoa, I can get behind gut health. And so we started kind of looking into it, and we had a meeting with Bridget Ryan, and I was like, this is what we're doing. Like, this is going to be it.
Yep. Just what he said. Yeah, so we, like he was saying, we were in Montana when we decided we were going to do it. We decided a little bit different than other people than we wanted to do the business.
Yeah.
And so although it has helped me tremendously, since I've become a firefighter about 3 years ago, I've gained about 35 pounds. I've struggled with anxiety, depression, not being able to sleep, a lot of hormone issues, things that I had never dealt with. And so although we did start for the business, it did improve all of those symptoms for us. And I was not able to actually lose any weight with triplex, unfortunately, but it's because of my schedule. I work a lot and I could never have enough time in a row to where I wasn't overworked and overstressed to where I could start taking care of myself and lose that weight. But the reset allows me to do it in 3 days. And so it's like game over now, right? Because there's no more like, okay, I'm going to try to eat as healthy as I can for this month and then hope that, my work schedule goes okay and I can keep up with it. Now I don't have to do that. Now I can just do that in just 3 days and have my health turned around and then start, my healthy eating and stuff.
I love it. So you opened up that reset can, and I'm going to jump like through that hoop. So you guys we saw each other again this year in Columbus, and you guys were looking great then, but you hadn't even tried the reset yet.
Nope.
Well, we had both in May, from May until June, we had both started kind of just trying to work on our eating. And we had lost a little bit of weight. I think I was down like 10 pounds. And I think you were down a few pounds, but when we left and we hit the reset, man, it was like, cause we've done 3 since, and I'm down to, in May, I was 232. I was 205 before vacation. So I might be like 207 right now or 8, but the reset is like being a longtime coach, being someone that helps people with nutrition, and then going into the triplex, like stuff takes a long time.
Yeah.
And for most people, that's a big, big problem. Like they just can't stick with it. And so like the reset is so huge for kickstarting. Like if you can lose some weight or you can see results really quickly, then you can stick to it. Right. And I noticed that when I was at the gym, like if I could take someone and they could get stronger and they could see like within a week they're stronger, then they're like, I'm set. Like I'm going to keep coming. I'm so motivated. And so, when people would try the triplex, if they noticed improvements in a week, then it's like, cool, we got them in here. They're going to stick with it. But most people, it wasn't like that. And so it was a challenge, right? Yeah. And we've all kind of experienced that. And obviously we can overcome it, but with the reset, for me personally, like, better energy, like I'm blown away. Like when we get home, we're gonna do it again. Like
number 4.
I'm just like in love with it. I really am. And for Germaine, her health, like our boys were both like, "Dang, Mom, you look little. Like you look little, Mom." Like, like that was a compliment. Like it's like it's just sweet little boys that boys saying, like letting Mom know, like, wow, you look different. Like it's super cool. Like it's
Mama is changing. So Germaine, how have you felt during your reset? Because we've done them 3 times now. So what were your results?
So when I first came home from convention, we had it on our doorstep. So we started like the next day. I got COVID, but I didn't stop. I didn't care, but because I only have a certain amount of time to do things, and I'm like, I'm not gonna let being sick be a reason for me not to finish my reset. So anyways.
Can you say that again for the people in the back? Like you did it,
little louder.
The problem is that there's never going to be like a perfect time, right? And
say that again, one more time.
There's never going to be a perfect time. So do it now.
Yes.
But so I was sick on the couch for 3 days while Jeremy was busy doing stuff. So I noticed I felt more hungry, but I think it's because I wasn't doing anything. I was just not feeling well. I lost 12 pounds my first reset. Wow. And so of course I was like, oh heck yeah. Like, I was like, let's go. So we obviously were like, we're doing this every month until we hit our goal, right? I still have about another 15 pounds to hit my goal. So second reset, I lost 6 pounds. I wasn't sick, had tons of energy, wasn't hungry. I was like going to work like a chatterbox because I just had all the energy in the world. I was like, oh my gosh, I was like so efficient getting stuff done.
Yeah, I like talking a lot.
Yeah, whatever. and then we just recently did another one and lost another 6 pounds. So between each reset, I've gained back 2 to 3 pounds. So I'm down a total about 18 pounds right now.
I love it. That's fantastic. And what would you say? 2.5, almost 3 months?
It's really only 2 months because
end of June, June 28th, I think.
End of July and now middle August. So yeah, 2.5 months.
Yeah. That's fantastic. And so as we segue just from you having results, you started sharing what you were experiencing on social media, because that's what we do. We find something we love, we share it with the people we love. You find something that works, you share that with people.
Yeah.
Right.
As you guys started sharing your results, what started happening?
Well, we came home, we listened to it. How do you say her last name? Melissa Eichenhorst?
Yep, just like that.
So we listened to her just system on recruiting, and we did the whole message 100 people in 2 or 3 days or something. And we just asked everyone to join us.
Well, so we have a ton of friends. We have a ton of people that we've asked that said no.
Yes.
Or they weren't interested in the triplex, or that tried it and they couldn't stick with it. So we asked new people, but we asked all of those people as well. And I was very surprised at how many of those people were interested.
Yeah, a lot of people who weren't interested in the triplex are wanting the reset because of the results, because the instant results in the short amount of time. And so we're finding even people who had canceled their subscription with us, who have tried the triplex, are signing up for the reset, because I think for us, we're a product of the product and we're sharing that, and people see that on Instagram and Facebook. And so they're wanting to join, right? We're inspiring them just by being a product of the product and walking the walk and talking the talk.
Well, it's like when you see someone, you see your friend, right? Because we work out, we try to eat well, and like our bodies haven't changed a lot in the last 2 years since we started Plexus. We feel amazing, but body wise, like we're kind of around the same weight. So then when all of a sudden you see like people see their friends dropping weight, like very quickly, with this 3-day reset, it's like everyone's like perked up, like what's going on? And so like, I feel like it's this new opportunity for us to really like just share. And so we've been sharing like so much more boldly, so much more like just unashamed, like just asking everyone like, hey, like we've done this. Did you see what we've been posting about? Like, or what we've been sharing? Like, this is like, our results are ridiculous. Like, we want you to try this, and just not shying away from asking people. And we actually have recently found a couple that are running it kind of like we are, and they are amazing. They
should be on the Zoom talking.
They're amazing. And so, and we're starting to attract the kind of people that we want to attract. And so it's just been like snowballing. Like it really has been. I think it was probably like 2 months ago, I was telling Germaine, I was like, babe, you've really got to, because I've been trying to do this, like get our systems in order, make it so that we, like when someone enrolls, they do this, we do this for them. And I've just not been able to stick with it. And I'm like, babe, I need you to be able to do this. Like, I need you to get our systems in order, figure out what they are. And we need to just start implementing that. And I need your help doing that. And so she's been, for the last 2 months, maybe 3 months, just really dialing into watching. You guys have been so, like, I can't even thank you guys enough for how much.
Aww. You guys are amazing leaders. You guys are lucky to have them as your leaders. We're like, I'm so grateful that you guys adopted us. We're like, somebody take us, please.
But we're just so thankful for all that you've done for us for no other reason but because you care. And so that's been really nice. But Germaine has really turned herself around as a person. She is just.
Aw, he's gonna make me cry.
I love it. You guys are fantastic, and you make me crazy because you are those dream teamers that everybody prays for. And I'm not surprised I love his ears perked up when you said, like, now all of a sudden we're attracting these kind of people. It's because you're those kind of people.
Yeah, exactly.
You are now those kind of people. And so the law of attraction kicks in, and now you're going to start to attract those great quality caliber people that are going to have that stick with itness, and it's going to catapult you guys to a whole other level.
Yeah, but the reset has really just been like a new beginning, you know, like a fresh start. All the mistakes that I feel like we've made in the past that we've learned from, it's like a new opportunity now to say, okay, we're starting fresh. Yes, we have all those amazing products still, but this is going to get our foot in the door. Yeah. You know, and corporate's been amazing. This whole like adding the triplex onto the reset, like
$40.
Like it's so just brilliant. Like they've really set us up to be successful. So now we as ambassadors just have to go out and just
put ourselves out
just
there.
put yourself out there and just be vulnerable, really, you know, just dare.
Ask. Just keep asking. So one of the questions I know that we're going to get later, and everybody kind of loves verbiage, is what does it sound like? If you were reaching out to me, us, what does it sound like if you're going to be sharing with Reset?
Well, we just do exactly what Melissa said.
It was Bridget put up some verbiage in the Living Well, right? And it was like, she just put up some verbiage, and we literally just follow that.
So this is what we message to people who were just like kind of cold messaging, I guess, that kind of know that we're on a plexus journey, but
or that have used the products before, that kind of thing.
I would just say, hey friend, I don't know if you saw what I shared, but Plexus just launched a 3-day nutritionally supported fast that helps to reset your metabolism. Jeremy and I finished ours and would love for a few friends to join us. We both lost 6 pounds and 5 inches off our waist in 3 days and saw a ton of similar testimonies. Does the reset sound like something you might be interested? If so, can I send you a short video? And then we just send the short video after. But it's just I think it is in Bridget's page. So anyways, we just copy and pasted that, and we just are just putting ourselves out there and asking everyone.
I love it. And it's simple. It's not an expert breakdown of how it works, why it works, it is just simply that personal invitation, which is a world of difference. And yes, they are seeing it. It's everywhere. That little orange box is all over social media. And so as you guys started sharing and you started inviting, share about some of your new team members. Like, what kind of results are they having? Because that's where it gets really fun and exciting. It didn't just work for you guys. It's working for your people.
It is. Yeah. You want to share?
Well, you know, like so a buddy of mine, actually this couple there's someone that we've wanted to work with from when we started. We were like, they would be amazing.
I messaged them about a year ago asking, or the wife I had asked, but just nothing, right?
Yeah. But it's someone that we wanted to work with. You know, I used to train him as a CrossFit coach, and he's just an awesome guy. She's awesome. They just have a great network. They love people. They're believers. They're just people that we would like. They have kids similar age. They're like people that we just wanted to work with for so long, but it just didn't, like, nothing happened when we reached out. And so I reached out again about the reset. We were sharing tons of before and afters, and the wife said yes, and the husband said no. The wife got 2. The husband said, "Where's mine?" He goes, she gave it to him. So he lost 14 pounds. And he is, and he is like, he worked out all the way through it, did CrossFit. And I was like, I don't know if you can do that. This was before I started working out with it. And he did it. And he said, I feel amazing. I said, okay, then do it. That's my expert coaching. But with that couple, they've just been sharing their experience, and really just letting their network know. And they have very good relationships. They're like, he's a title rep guy. Like, so he's in real estate. And so he just is an amazing connector with other people. And so they have shared they had how many last month?
They went gold last month.
They went gold in their first month. They're gonna go senior gold this month. They're close. They're like right there. And so, but because Germaine had set up our systems, she was able to, God knows what he's doing, right? Because had they come to us earlier, we would have been like, okay, we'll try. And like, you know, so we're doing 3-way calls, 3-way chats. We're sending out an email. We're sending follow-up messages, you know, just all the things. And like they have a silver, they have a couple people that are going silver.
Multiple friends who have added one. You know, they've developed like 12 just ambassadors. So 1 to 2 people.
We're really trying to target couples. If your husband's eating cheeseburgers and pizza and you're having a reset, that's gonna suck, right? Or vice versa, right? So we're right? Like it's like when you're eating a salad and your husband's eating a big steak, right? It's like that's not fair, right? So we're really targeting that. And so because like you need to do it with the friend, right? And like I feel like that's the best friend you can do it with. If your husband or spouse isn't going to do it with you, then find your best friend, right? But I really feel like having your spouse do it with you and having that support in your home is the best way to do it. And I'm sure you guys agree with that fully.
Oh, 100%. So you know what we call that on our side? We call that hook a hubby up.
There you go.
There you go. Yep.
So when you have specials or incentives, like right now, you guys, you have the free hydrate that's being offered with every reset. And then you throw a reset with a welcome pack. It's only $40. Like that's crazy. Then you throw in Sam 2020. That's a free VIP. So all of a sudden you take a $361 retail order and it brings it down to about $150, $160. It is an incredible time to hook a hubby up.
Absolutely. I love that.
Okay.
So
I love that.
And we've been doing the same thing with we have our other team, you know, other teammates are doing the same thing. We had a girl go senior silver for the first time last month. We have a new one this month that just went senior silver. So we both ranked back up to ruby. We had dropped down to senior gold, so we're back up to ruby. And we're just seeing tons of momentum now we haven't seen since we started. And we really feel like the reset is like the missing link for, I think, a lot of people, to get them in the door and get them started.
Yeah.
Because obviously like 3 days it's not a miracle, right? But it allows an opportunity for us to get our foot in the door, to connect with them, build a relationship even more, support them, and then rolling them into, you know, the triplex, or I think the triplex is the best one to do after, but you know, rolling them into that, like you're building this relationship that, you know, maybe you wouldn't get as much, like you would, I don't feel like you get as much from like reciprocation from them because they're not seeing the results that fast. Right? That makes sense?
Oh yeah. I mean, when you're checking in, they get their reset, they get their box, and you're checking in. What does that look like for you? Like, what is part of your new system? Because you guys know I love me some systems.
So what we've been doing, especially with our new couple, because they do have a big influence and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to do anything. Yeah. So we've just been having them put us in brand new. Well, yeah. And I remember how overwhelming that was too at first. Like, I don't know anything, right? So anyways, we just do 3-way texts with their friends. So as soon as they have someone available, it's just someone interested, just have them, they throw us in a text. And then I do all the recruiting stuff, right? Like, hey, this is the video. And then we go into like, do you want to look at just the reset, or you want to, work into a 30-day system for $40? So I go through all that all the way to signing up. And then after that, we do a welcome email. Gives them all of their like referral information, what comes with the VIP, and then I just say, how to log in, and then I give them a congratulation text. And after that text, that's when my downline, I have them start our system on customer care. So they set their calendar for 3 or 4 days after, check in. Hey, did you get your reset yet? Could you take a selfie with it and send it to me when you get it? And then they ask them, what day are you planning on starting? Right. And then when they give them a date. I have them set another calendar date. So they'll set the day for the post. So the day before, the day of, or the next 3 days, and the day after. So we have a couple images we send for post reset. It gives them tips on how to prepare, how to take before and after pictures. And then we just do like basic, like, how are you doing? Day 1, day 2, I throw in a little bit there, trying to see if they're having any detox symptoms. So we can troubleshoot for them, which I have a whole system on how to troubleshoot too. And then on day 3, we just say, hey, you're pretty much a pro, you know, you finished your reset, congratulations. And then the last day I give them a little post reset info, what to do now, and ask them for their results. And then because most people are on the triplex after that day, we set 4 more dates in the calendar to check in with them every week after that for the triplex. But so far that's our reset care. But something that I've been doing that I kind of had watched this Zoom before convention, but it was Emily, her name's Emily Fennell. She's a diamond. She actually spoke at convention, and something that stuck out to me was her welcome calls. And so I've been developing a system for welcome calls and trying to get as many people as I can in there just to connect and to listen to them, what their goals are. And then I just tell them like all their why they would be good at this business, because what I see in them, their leadership, their, you know, their community, all these great things about them, and just give them that option and let them know that they could earn $300 to $400 by just sharing with 3 friends. So the call's not very like businessy. It's just kind of like, hi, I want to get to know you and help you have the best plexus experience possible, right? So I'm really enjoying the 3-way calls. Something else I've been doing. So if someone asks me like, or someone says like, hey, I lost 6 pounds and now I'm able to sleep through the night, I'm feeling great. I'm like, hey, do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? You can just text me back here and I can help you put together a post. And so instead of like before I would have all these results, but I didn't really know what to do with them other than like screenshot them and maybe throw them in my stories. But I've asked them certain questions like, what attracted you first to the reset? Like, why do you feel like your body needed one? You know, what was it that kind of made you say yes? And then I asked them their results and a little bit about the triplex. So like I list out things like, have you been feeling, do you notice that your bloating's gone, that you're sleeping better? So I feed them all those like non-scale victories. So they're like, oh yeah, I do sleep better. And yeah, I am, losing weight or all these things. So I'm feeding them all these non-scale victories, and we're just chatting on text. And then I just put together a post for them and ask them to post it. And that's been helping because now obviously it's reaching their communities. Trying to think what else I do. I think that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff.
It's been working.
It's a lot. You guys are just starting to implement your system, which I know is something that we've talked about for a long time. And you guys know we use the ATM over here. And so that's been highly effective. And that's something that can be duplicated, right? So anytime you're implementing a new system, the number one question is, can this be duplicated? Is what I'm doing going to be able to be duplicated over and over and over? And so the fun part is hearing your system, and it's simple, it's obviously effective, and it's being duplicated by your people because you're doing the on-the-job training. That's what happens in those 3-way messages and the 3-way text. Because all too often when everybody gets started, we're not experts. We didn't go to medical school for this. We're not all gut immune support 100% guru people yet, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Love that worked. And so when you're sharing authentically and you're being vulnerable at the same time, it builds trust and credibility. And I love that you guys said relationships. Like the people that you're attracting have good quality relationships with others. And what this means to me is that they have that trust factor, right? Yeah. So that goes back to their character. And what did Rory say was about the, what's the word, you guys? Right there.
You have to ask yourself what it was.
It's not there. It's what other people's opinions are.
Oh,
Expected.
no.
Kimberly, what is it?
Uniqueness.
No, that's not it.
Oh, she lost her voice.
Shoot.
So one thing.
Reputation.
Reputation.
There you go.
Reputation. Woo. My brain was
it.
hurting a
I
little
feel
bit.
like we just played a little game. Two
Your
syllables.
reputation. I love it. And you guys have been stick with it. You've stuck with it. You've been consistent. You haven't shut up. And now, like you said, now that compound effect of that 2 years of
Yeah.
really working on gut health and nailing down that consistently, it's no shocker that Reset comes along and just catapults you guys to a whole other level, which is
Yeah.
fantastic. And that's what people are seeing. You've been consistent. And I love that you guys shared about the reaching out and the personal invitations. I feel like sometimes we will just post and pray. We're going to post and we're going to pray that people see it. And then they come to us and ask to join our team. And some will, some won't.
Yeah.
So what? Someone is waiting for you to personally invite them to the party, right?
Yep.
What were you going to say, babe?
No, what I noticed though, before Reset until now, because Jeremy, I'd follow you, is that you consistently did post, but ever since Reset, you guys said it, both said it, you guys got vulnerable.
Mhm.
And you can
Yeah.
see the pictures with the shirt off, not just you're doing it, the people on that you guys have signed up and shared with, or your team members, you're showing their vulnerability, which is actually giving you guys credibility. And that's what I think is really I think it was everything that has happened was always there.
Yeah.
Now you guys believe it.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You believe it to a point where it makes you bold.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
you don't care. It doesn't, not that you don't care, but it's not going to really hurt your feelings if you get rejected because you have seen the results of other people joining you through the reset. So it not only resetted your business, but I think your mindset has been reset.
Yeah.
Like,
I think so.
you can do anything if you just believe you can. And it's getting to that point that if you can believe you can. And then it just took the Reset product to get you to that point, and then bam, you're like, it's game on. Because I saw it 232, and then I saw the last one. I was like, Jenna, how many times have you taken this in less than 3 months? Can you do that? But
Can I do the reset again? Jeremy did it again.
I wanted to do it in 2 weeks, so he said no.
but you're showing a consistent part of it. And that's what people, I think, are attracted to, and maybe it is also the reaching out and asking too at the same time. So it's a combination of different things, but mainly it started with you as a couple. I see now it's not just Jeremy, it's both you guys now.
Yeah.
And you can see him light up and go, it's on.
That's how we feel.
It's
It's
been fun
on.
to watch. It really has. And we're over here in the East Coast. I'm like, yeah, you guys are rocking it.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah,
Appreciate
we
that.
actually just had a call with one of our level ones who has she has a strong leg. She's about gold right now. She's going to be senior gold hopefully in the next couple months. But she hasn't been having as much luck reaching out to people and having them say yes. And we reach out to people and everyone says yes. But I was telling her, they don't know you're the Reset girl because you're not putting yourself out there. You have to be consistently, you should at least have something Reset in your story at least every day. So when people are looking through, they know you're in business, you're the Reset girl. So when I'm feeling like crap after vacation, or I've been trying everything I can to lose weight and I can't, you're the person I'm going to ask. And so we're encouraging her to, like, we've never really encouraged someone to do a content calendar. But for her, because we know that it's a lot of personal relationships that's going to move the needle. But for her, we're like, nobody knows that you're doing it. Like, you have to put yourself out there. Like, her husband has done it, but nobody knows that she, or that what his results were. She's lost, how much did she say she lost? 50 pounds since her pregnancy?
70
Oh,
pounds.
just today, she said she's lost 70 pounds. We're like, why don't we know that? Because you've never, like, you have to put yourself out there so you can inspire people. And so when they're inspired, they're going to want to ask you, what are you doing? And then, that's how we're going to do it. So, But yeah, putting yourself out there so people know that you're the one.
I love it. I hope you guys wrote that down because I know I did. They don't know that you are the reset girl or guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
You gotta be it.
Oh, look what she just said. I don't know if that would have came out of her mouth a year ago.
No, it wouldn't have.
So I see like a metamorphosis happening,
Yes.
like butterflies coming out of the cocoon, you
Yes.
know? And I understand now why, Jeremy, you got emotional. Because you guys kept chopping at that darn tree, and then eventually you just did one more. You did one more call, you did one more post, you did whatever, and the reset
I
came.
listened to that, but
Next thing you know, wife wasn't on board, but the whole mindset shifted, and you're like, okay, the yoke is evenly yoked, put it that way. So it's cool to
Yeah.
watch. I see it.
Well, I needed her help. Like there's things that I'm really good at. I'm gonna reach out to people. I'm gonna sign people up. I'm like that. That's what I've done for a long time because I owned a gym and I need to get signups for the gym and whatever. So there's things that there's things that I'm not good at yet that I still need to work on, and so we complement each other really well.
yeah.
But she has, like exactly what you said, she has changed dramatically, and she really has been kind of the one who's pushed it over the edge.
Yeah.
Like we were just stuck.
I have like a huge why I want to do this. And because I don't want to be working as much as I work all the time. I work a ton. And so like whenever it's hard, it's like, yeah, like I've had down times when it's like, oh, this is so hard, it's not working, or whatever we're doing is not working. But it always comes back to like, I have to do this. Like, this is the only way to improve my life and my family's life. And so it's like with that, it's like I've never given up. I've always like, but I'll go into like my little shell and just do all my Zooms and like listen to trainings and stuff, and like thinking eventually something's gonna help me figure this out, because I don't know what, I'm just trying to figure it out. But I think the reset, like everybody wants it and everybody needs it. So it's just putting yourself out there, and then me getting the results I've gotten are like, it's just like, well, of course, like if anyone can't lose weight, it's me, and if I can do it, absolutely you can do it, right? So
Amen.
I love it. So what is your why, Germaine? Why do you need to do this, or what does it look like for you?
Well, because
what does it look like?
Well, I actually want to do the vision casting and the board and all that stuff. Haven't done that yet. It's in my mind all the time because I do want to go to Hawaii with you guys really bad. But I work a ton as a firefighter, and it is just a dangerous
How much
job.
is a ton?
I work over hundreds of hours a week. I mean, 96 hours, 2 days off, another 96 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, just all the time. Like I miss everything with the kids and stuff. And I was a stay-at-home mom before. So I was a stay-at-home mom for 10 years. I homeschooled. I didn't miss anything. Like now I'm like, what grade are the kids in? Like I feel bad because I'm so occupied with work, but the job's dangerous. It's an inherently dangerous job, from just everything we come in contact with, the things we do. And I don't want to be unhealthy and not be around when my kids are there. And I want to be able to say no to working more. So we'll get offered overtimes. I'll take them to help her, buy different things for the kids. But I want to be able to say no to all of that and be able to just work my schedule, which it's supposed to be just 2 days on, 4 days off. So that sounds really easy to just work 2 days. But my why is my kids. So it's like, when I first got hired as a firefighter, my why to become a firefighter was my kids. We were living in a neighborhood that wasn't so nice. And it was like, we're always going to live here if I don't get hired. And so I obviously kept going and going and going until I got hired. And then I'm kind of doing the same thing here. It's like it has to happen, because otherwise it's like my life's going to be just working long hours all the time, And so, whenever it's like, I've never, like I said, I never quit, but it's like, I'm always like trying to figure it out. Like, what am I missing? And we had a Zoom with Bridget the other day, and she's like, you guys, this business is simple. I was like, what do you mean? There's so many different angles, but it is. And it's just sharing your story, teaching others to share their story, developing silvers, me plus 3. And that's the business. Like, we don't have to do our own welcome calls because corporate does that for us. We don't have to do our own trainings. Corporate does that for us. It's like, there's so much that the business is just set up. It's simple. And I think this more, like we were talking about earlier, the more simple it is, the more other people can duplicate that, right? And so that's like, for us, reaching down, we're trying to reach down to people in our level 2s, 3s, and 4s and really connect with them on those 3-way calls to see if we can find, you know, other business builders that way.
I love
Yeah.
that.
One thing, you know, Germaine works those long hours. She's gone for 96 hours. She's up all night, and yet she's still on trainings. She's still messaging people in her downtime, and she's still, you know, like, she's exhausted, right? And so it's okay to do hard things. Like, we can do hard things, and you just need to have the right motivation, right? Like, you need to have that why that's driving you, but you're gonna have to do it. Like, that's great, but you're gonna have to do things when you don't want to and you're exhausted, because you're not gonna get where, and we tell our boys all the time, like, you're not gonna get where you want to be if you're not working hard, if you're waiting for things to be easier, if you're waiting for the right timing. Like, it's just not ever, that right timing is never gonna happen. Germaine is working through like these terribly long shifts. She comes home, she's still running with the kids, doing everything with us, and then she goes back for another 96 hours. And like, you just, if you want to get somewhere, you have to work. You really have to work. And, you know, we all hear excuses about people that can't do it, and you just have to get rid of those excuses and just get to work. And it's going to pay off. You just have to build that momentum. You just have to keep going and keep learning, because we all have things that we're terrible at, and we have to get better at those things, you know?
Amen. Right. And you can't get better at them unless you're doing them and you're learning along the way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. A book that has really helped me is the John Maxwell book, that everyone communicates, but few connect. And for me, because I'm gone all the time, I don't get involved in communities. I can't. And so I really lack in that area as far as like one-on-one relationships. But I really enjoyed the book because it kind of teaches you how to connect, like, because that's what our business is, connecting with others. And I'm like, oh, I don't have time to do this or that. I can't, like, go get coffee. Like, how am I going to do this? So the book really opened my eyes a lot on how to just invest in others and really connect individually with each people, or with each person, and on social media too, not having to be there in person with them.
Absolutely. I love that. So you guys, as we are kind of wrapping up, I have something that's, it's like actually perfect, because I didn't know what Germaine and Jeremy were going to share. We're like, hey, we're just going to do some Q&A. We're going to have fun. Don't worry about it. It's always just organic and fun. And that's one of the favorite things about when we have our guest speakers come on, because we want you guys to see the relationships, the connections, the realness, right? It's not perfect. It's progress. We're not looking to be perfect. We're looking for that progression and that compound effect. And like Jeremy and Germaine were just sharing that it doesn't, you know, you're not going to know all the things. And that's okay. You just have to know where to go to find the things, right?
Yeah.
So I want to give you a minute, but I have a John Maxwell, minute with Maxwell, I want to share with you guys to close out tonight.
Woohoo!
It's like 3 minutes.
No, his thing.
3 minutes.
So, wait, you got me off guard.
He's got more than 3 minutes, you guys. Give him a high
You,
five.
Kenny.
So it's just interesting. I'm glad you guys came on, and I'm glad that everything's going well. And I just pray that everything, we just bless you, and we love you guys. But one thing that was interesting, and what you guys touched on and what you guys are going through is kind of cool, was I heard this today, was that our brain does the least, it conserves the less amount of energy as possible. The least amount of energy as possible. So one of the analogies they were talking about was our thoughts are like a jungle. Okay, just say that's a jungle, and then you have a thought, and then that you start going through the jungle, you start cutting away the branches and all that stuff, and then you keep having that thought. Next thing you know, that little tiny walking trail becomes a bigger walking trail. Then you have that same thought and becomes a bike trail. Same thought, now it's big enough to fit a car. And then that same thought is an 8-lane highway. And I started thinking, I was like, wow. And he goes, so when you're thinking, I don't have enough money all the time, you're creating your own highway. You're creating that highway. And then if your brain uses the least amount of energy as possible, it goes right to that thought. Just think about that. So if you're thinking, I can't do this business, I don't know anybody, it keeps going. And then you create that little trail. Next thing you know, you get a big highway going, I can't do it. So as soon as that rejection happens, it goes right to that 8-lane highway that you already created. Now, the beauty thing is you can change that, but it takes a little bit of effort and work on your part. But once you do start to change that, eventually that 8-lane highway starts to overgrow with branches again. So you no longer,
It has a bypass.
eventually, if you're working on, and that becomes a mindset, that's how a mindset is worked. So when you get away from that negative mindset, let's just say about money, and then now you're going a different path. Now that old path starts overgrowing with jungle. So then now something triggers, you go back to that negative thought that you used to have. It hits that jungle. You're like, hey, I don't go here anymore. And then you go right to that new lane. So that is creating a mindset. And you guys actually pointed that out to me just listening to you guys talk. I remember the way you guys were doing. You guys were killing it before, but a thought process was different. A mindset was. Now, June till now, August, a different highway has been created. Now it's a highway of belief. Now Germaine's on there now going, hey, zooming on by, see ya. You know, she was on a different little mindset, different road. Now it's a highway going towards success and abundance. So I want to affirm you guys and say, congratulations. You guys are doing the good, hard thing. You guys said it. You keep on working. You guys were chopping and are chopping the tree. I still think the big tree hasn't fallen yet.
Yeah.
You just did a little tree. Now you got this big tree, which is bringing you guys to Hawaii in 2023.
That's right.
You guys are chopping now.
But that's not the first one. That's just one along the trail of many to come.
But it starts with one. And I'm telling you, I want you guys, I'm challenging you guys, put that dream board together and then put on there September of 2023 that you guys are going to be in Hawaii. Take pictures of what Hawaii looks like and put it on there. So
We'll send you
wanna be there.
pictures. No, names in the sand.
All right, do it.
Writing your name in the sand.
And then that's going to create that other highway. So when your mind starts going towards the positive, saying Hawaii, now it's starting to work. Your subconscious mind is working everything to go there. Just like buying a new car, you see that car everywhere.
Yep.
Or you even bought it. You're like, I see this van everywhere. So I'm so happy that you guys are actually walking out. I don't even know if you guys realize that or not, but you guys are walking that and creating that new highway of abundance instead of lack. So you guys are rock. Keep doing it. Keep killing it. Keep sharing. Ask, and just keep plugging away together as a couple.
I love it. And we're going to plug in one thing. This is our book club. We do every Saturday morning. And right now we're reading Ed Milet, The Power of One More. If you do not have this book yet, go to Amazon, grab it, get the Audible, watch the video. He's got podcasts, he's got YouTube channels, all sorts of things. This has been incredible because what you're hearing tonight from Jeremy and Germaine is a compound effect of doing this. One more thing every single day. What's one way they could improve their business? What was one area they needed to come into agreement on? What was the one thing that was going to drive them forward? And then they dialed that in and they got consistent and they didn't stop. So this is your tip. You don't actually have to have read all 12 chapters to jump on the book club. Just jump on the book club, catch up. We do a recap where we share our takeaways. So if you did get to read it, you get to share your takeaway. But it is that good that it's worth your time to invest in yourself. So you got to hear from Kenny. He challenged you tonight. But I love all how this is all working out. because John's got a challenge for you guys tonight too. So stick with me for a minute with Maxwell, you guys.
Welcome to Minute with Maxwell today. My name is John Maxwell. Have you ever had somebody kind of walk into your life as a friend? And the moment that you met them, everything began to be bigger in your life. What you saw about life just kind of, the picture just got bigger. If that's the case, then you're going to really like my friend Elmer Towns, who was probably my first official mentor. At the age of 24, began to put me under his wings and well, let me give you context so you'll understand what an important influence he really had on my life. I started off my pastorate in a very small community in southern Indiana called Hillham. And when I say small, I mean really small. 11 houses, 2 garages, 1 country store. That's Hillham. That's where I started. In fact, the first Sunday, there were only 3 people in church, and 2 of them were my wife, Margaret, and me. And then some elderly lady who lived beside the church, whose name was Maud. Just Maud, Margaret, and me. That's how I started. Very, very small. But while I was there in that rural, small setting, I had a desire to do something much bigger than what my community was. Didn't know how. And then one day I picked up a book by Elmer Towns on America's fastest growing churches. And I read that book, and then he wrote another book on the 10 largest churches in America. And all of a sudden he began to expand my mind. I'll never forget, I found out that he was going to speak in Waterloo, Iowa at a conference. And so I booked a plane and went out to Waterloo, Iowa. And I was so nervous during a break as I went up to shake his hand and tell him that his books influenced my life and that he was really helping me. And I'll never forget, he just kind of loved me. And in fact, he said, tomorrow morning I'm leaving for Chicago. Would you like to go with me? And I said, of course I'd like. I didn't live in Chicago, but if that's where he was going, I wanted to go. And we sat together on that plane and he began to pour into me. We went then to the United Club Lounge afterwards for maybe another hour before we parted ways. And he marked my life that day because he gave me a picture of people that were doing bigger and better things than I had ever in my own mind imagined. He stretched me. He took me completely out of everything I knew and out of my comfort zone and said, John, there's a big world out there. Go take it. Go for it. And I did. Elmer Towns, who I affectionately call E.T., literally has always stretched me. He's always caused me to take the next step and to go just a little bit higher. I'm so in love and indebted to him for who he is and what he means to me. Recently, I was at a conference in Birmingham, Alabama, and there he was attending the conference, 88 years old now, sitting on the second row, just taking notes, and during breaks coming up and saying, John, wasn't this great? And look what I learned in that last session. And I looked at Elmer and I thought, oh my, he still sees a picture bigger than himself. He sees it for himself. He sees it for others. He saw it for me. That's why I have Minute with Maxwell with you. I see a big picture for you, perhaps bigger than what you see for yourself. That's why I love coming every day into your life and doing my best to do what E.T. has done for me. Just let you see a big picture, a bigger one than perhaps you've seen before. And remember this, you'll fill that picture because you'll grow to what you see. Thanks for being with me today on Minute with Maxwell.
Okay, so you guys, confession. That wasn't the video I was going to share with you.
But it was the perfect
But
one.
it was perfect. Like we started talking, I'm like, that's not the one. Kenny, that's not the one I wanted to share. But it was so good. Again, he reiterates the challenge, right? So there is nobody better at issuing challenges than Kimberly Brookhouse. She's our double emerald. And I want to tell you the backstory behind several of my posts recently. I personally have been getting called out by your leadership. They're like, Jenna, you don't share enough about what a big deal you are. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, it's a humble, it's a mindset. It's all in my head. Okay. Confession. So it's like, well, what are they going to think? What are they going to do? And then Kimberly's like, who cares? They don't know what they don't know. So you have to be more boastful, not boastful. That's not the right word, but bolder, and be sharing. And like Jeremy and Germaine said, then that attraction kicks in. I'm like, okay, fine. But she doesn't just like let you go one time and say, here, do a challenge. She'll message you and message you and message you again and go, I'm waiting for that post. Or you'll send her a post and be like, I did it. And she's like, that was nice, but I know you can do better. You're like, oh. And then she's like, and you just go stretch you just a little bit more. And then you do a post. She was like, you're getting there. You're getting there. And then you make a post. She doesn't even read it until like 7 hours later. And you're like, did you read my post? But she's fantastic at issuing challenges. So tonight, we're going to close out. Kimberly's got a challenge for you guys. So you want to get your pen and paper out because she's going to bring it. Kimberly, what do you got for us? We're all taking you up on your challenge.
I love you. And every word of that was so true. Today, she was messaging me and she's like, Kimberly, have you seen my post? I'm like, I haven't, but I promise you, I'm going to get on and I'm going to see it today. But yes, you guys, I love challenges. Like, I honestly, like, okay. Like, I'm competitive, right? Like, the company tells us, find 3 people, develop a silver, do these things. Like, I'm there. I'm working on it from the very first of the month, right? And my team is doing the same. So we are going to put a challenge out to every single one of you to invite 20 people to our next reset challenge. It's going to be the first week in September. So everybody needs to be thinking about 20 people that you're going to personally message, just like Germaine talked about. You are going to personally message them about reset. You're going to talk about yourself, your results, and you're just going to ask them to join you. We're inviting them to the table. So every single person, you're going to invite 20 people, and we want to know about your wins. So when you message somebody and like Germaine said, they come back and they're like excited and wanting to know more, and you're inviting them to the challenge and adding them to the page, we want to know about it. We are going to be shouting it out in threads. We want to build that community, you guys, and really, really start blessing families with the quick weight loss that everybody wants, along with that day 4 long-term results. So everybody's challenge is 20 people to the next reset challenge.
I love it. So the best way to do this, you guys, is to ATM. You want to private message them. We're going to send out some messaging, exactly what Germaine and Jeremy are sharing. We're going to send that in the chats for you. So you have it. You can take it, tweak it, make it your own, or you could just send it out. It's just better done than perfect. Remember that. Okay. And then you're going to ATM. You're going to add them to the pages. You're going to tag them. There's some really great information out there. And starting those 3-way messages is the key. Don't forget, you have the direct links to your health quiz as well. So that way it really shops and tells them exactly what combinations along with reset are going to be good for them, where they're at, what their goals are. But don't forget, SAM 2020 is still effective. It just goes in the promo code section. It's not a voucher code. It goes in the promo, okay? So you guys, as we close out tonight, I want to say thank you to Jeremy and to Germaine and the kiddos. They're invading your space. I love it. They're like, you've been hiding out in here long enough. And I want to say thank you so much, you guys, for bringing the truth, for being vulnerable and authentic, and just sharing where you're at. But more excitedly than where you are at right now, we're excited about where you're going, because the best really is yet to come. And so we love you, and we're so, so incredibly honored and proud to call you our friends. So everybody give them a high five. And we want to say thank you again. We hope that you got value out of this. It has been recorded. It's going to drop over on YouTube for you. We will send out the links as well. So by a show of hands, who's taking Kimberly up on her blessing 20 families? Okay. I can't wait. There, I see Crystal. There's like 2 people. You got to have your own hand.
I did.
I'm not doing your 20 people.
I had my hand up.
Okay. Listen, that's going to be 40. All right. Game on. All right. We will see you guys Saturday for book club at 8 a.m. Have a great night, you guys, and thank you again.
Bye.